Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this public meeting to order. We have a very special guest here today to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Her name is Melissa Hughes, currently working for the Department of Defense, serving as a special agent for the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, covering the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic regions. Melissa is also a member of the American Legion Post 411, Michael Steiner in Jessup, Pennsylvania. Also joining Melissa today is her service dog, Goose. Goose and Melissa graduated from the Stand With Me program in 2022, a nonprofit service dog organization based in Binghamton, New York, specializing in training service animals for veterans. Melissa served in the Naval Reserve Center in Avoca from 2003 to 2011, served 2 tours of active duty with the 1st Naval Construction Division out of Little Creek, Virginia, and she currently resides in Jessup, Pennsylvania, and we're very happy to have you this morning.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stand.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll entertain a approval of the minutes from our last commissioners meeting.
Motion.
Second. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes have been approved. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Would anyone like to address the board on agenda items? Okay. Seeing that there is no one, first up we have a proclamation that I'd like to read regarding Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and then we will call up to the podium Sabrina Hannon and Mackenzie Major from the Women's Resource Center, and we're happy to have them. So if you guys want to come up to the podium, we'll read this proclamation into the record. Whereas in Lackawanna County, in recognition of the critical work being done by domestic violence advocates and allies in service of the survivors and victims they serve, we encourage all citizens to actively engage in supporting the WRC, formerly Women's Resource Center, and other organizations working toward an eradication of domestic violence. And whereas domestic violence among teens and adults is not confined to any group of people, but cuts across all economic, racial, gender, and societal barriers. The impact of domestic violence directly affects individuals and communities when society ignores or tolerates violence in relationships. And whereas women and men need to work together to bring safety and equality. More than 1,300 adults and children in Lackawanna County were provided with crisis and advocacy services last year, with 4,000 calls to the crisis hotline, and 58 families were provided emergency safe housing in Lackawanna County last year. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is felt not only by individuals and families, but by communities and our nation as a whole, Lackawanna County joins others across the state of Pennsylvania and nationwide in supporting domestic violence victims and survivors, the advocates and organizations who serve them, and holding offenders accountable throughout Lackawanna County. Now, therefore, we, Bill Gaughan and Chris Chermak, Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Lackawanna County, and we're happy to have the 2 representatives here from the Women's Resource Center if you'd like to step forward and say a few words.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much for having us here today. Domestic violence is a prolific problem, not only in our country, but in our county. And awareness months like this help survivors and their families feel like they are not alone. So this is, it seems small, but it is a big deal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to come up, we'll take a picture with the proclamation.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you. Did you want something new yet? That's funny, you look familiar. Okay, you're gonna look this way.
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2.
All right, very good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the work you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we are going to hear from representatives from Penn State Extension. Jennifer, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name again, although I should know it by now. I don't want to butcher it. Who is the Client Relationship Manager from Penn State Extension, and Kristen Armstrong, the 4-H educator. So if you guys want to kick us off, thanks.
Sure. Good morning. Before I introduce Kristen, I would just like to say thank you to you and your staff members for allowing us to have our day in the county. On September 16th, we took over your lobby. Thank you, Traci. We had a mum's sale from our master gardeners. We had our master watershed stewards had a table. Nutrition links had recipes on hand, and our 4-H educator was on hand. And then I had some other program highlights. I think in all, about 75 to 100 people came through, and we made great strides in our goal to help make Penn State Extension no longer the best kept secret in the county. Then also coming up, we have a live webinar on October 15th called Kinship Family Forum, Helping Families Thrive. This is a live webinar that will offer caregivers, educators, and community members practical strategies to support positive mental health in young people. It's drawn on research-based practices and 4-H's Thrive model, and participants can gain tools to foster growth, confidence, and well-being in youth as they navigate stress and change. Again, it's October 15th. It does require pre-registration. You can register at extension.psu.edu, and you can put in the search bar Kinship Family Forum, Helping Families Thrive. As always, commissioners, we thank you for the opportunity to showcase what we have. And then I'll introduce you to our new 4-H educator, Kristen Armstrong, and we're thrilled to have her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm just getting over a little head cold, so my voice is in and out. But I want to thank you guys all for having me here today. I'm Kristen Armstrong again. I'm the 4-H educator for Lackawanna County. I just took the position. It was 3 weeks Monday, so we're very happy to be here, and we're looking forward to doing some great things in the county. I've already hit the ground running. We've already worked with Johnson's College, so that was just confirmed yesterday. We have some great programs coming up with them. They're looking to work with kids in that 4-H range, between that 10-year-old and 13-year-old range-ish. I call it preteen. I don't know if the teens would appreciate that, but and then that way it gets them into a college situation, gets them seeing what Johnson's College has to offer, and then also tying 4-H into it. So right now we're going to do a multi-county event because a lot of 4-H activities happen in State College, and unfortunately it's a long drive for parents. So we're looking to do 4-H Olympics there, which they've confirmed. We're just setting up a date. We're also doing a carpentry club, so it's really great to team up and join up with organizations. That's one of my big missions, is because we're an urban county, maybe we don't see it that way. I grew up in Lackawanna County on a dirt road with only my family, so it didn't seem urban to me, but it definitely is urban compared to some of the other counties. So we're trying to team up with other organizations. My big thing is if you give to the community will give back to you. And teaming up together and working with other organizations when they have the same mission, why recreate the wheel? You know, why keep doing this? So working with Johnson's College is going to be excellent. It's a great partnership. We hit it off instantly. We work a lot with a lot of the library systems. So the Abington Community Library is doing a program this fall, Discover Cow, where they're going to get a cow, and no, they won't get a physical cow. They're adopting a cow, so they've asked 4-H to help with that program. We also do our plant club there, which is wonderful. And we also have a new program called the MyPI program for first responders. I think it's been kind of thrown around, the idea. We actually have a meeting, Jennifer and I set up with Michelle Bannon, the mayor of Carbondale, to try and get that program started in the Carbondale area. I think that Carbondale will be a perfect fit for this program. So we're gonna get that set up and get that hopefully rolling within the next year or so. So yeah, we have a lot of great things coming. Our children are wonderful. They're more than happy to be a part of 4-H, and the parents love it. It's an outlet for kids that can't do sports or don't want to do sports, or maybe they aren't into the arts. So this gives them another avenue to explore science, horticulture, agriculture, STEM programs, carpentry, life skills that they need to have. So we want to thank everybody for all their support with 4-H and Penn State Extension. I'm a Penn Stater through and through, and I love my Penn State Extension, so we're going to do everything to make it thrive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. Okay, we'll start with the resolutions. Resolution 25-0236.
This is approving the current payables. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve the following payables. The county's general fund numbers 391-292-391-751 inclusive, totaling $2,760,187.70. The county's electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $3,956,540.29. Adopted a regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Or, I'm sorry, we're not adjourning yet.
I'll second.
As you can tell where my mind is at. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0230.
It's approving and entering into a consulting services agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve and enter into a 3-month consulting services agreement with Reginald H. Marianni of Elephant at $100 per hour. This is to assist the Lackawanna County Controller's Office in carrying out its duties as set forth in the County Code and the Lackawanna County Home Rule Charter, and any other such business as needed. Adopted regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that is the county's controller, Mr. Gary DeVillio.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, I had a recent retirement of my deputy controller in my office. That position has not yet been filled. We can use Reggie Mariani's experience and knowledge right now on a part-time basis. So for a 3-month period, we're going to have him come in part-time. It'll be no cost to the county. It's not negatively affecting our budget. And if we need to extend it, that'll still be the case. But we're open to interviewing any accountants out there with at least 5 years auditing experience. Please contact our office. We'd be happy to speak to you. We'd love Reggie then to stick around for a little bit of training. And thank you for approving it.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the controller? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0230.
So approving a support services agreement. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve and ratify a support services agreement with Northern Tiered Research, 1302 Madison Avenue, Dunmore, Pennsylvania, for the Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office for Toxicology Testing Laboratory Services associated with the Department's testing requirements. The term is to commence January 1st, 2026 and expire December 31st, 2026. Adopted regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that is the District Attorney's Administrative Officer, Mr. Brian Finnerty.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. The County DA's office asks the board to approve the support services agreement between Lackawanna County, the District Attorney's Office, and Northern Tier Research for toxicology services covering calendar year 2026.
Very good. Any questions? All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Resolution 25-0231.
This is entering into a memorandum of understanding. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Nonprofit Employment Opportunity and Training Center of NEPA, Outreach Center of Community Resources, for the annual Adopt an Angel program to commence October 15th, 2025, and expire January 31st, 2026. adopted regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Lackawanna County, held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that is our Director of Office of Youth and Family Services, Ms. Carrie Browning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
This MOU for Adopt an Angel program is to provide gifts for children in foster care within our agency for Christmas 2025. The MOU will run from October 15th, 2025 through January 31st of 2026. The funding is provided from community donations, and the amount is not to exceed $2,585.
Thank you. Any questions for Director Browning? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0232.
Entering into an agreement with the University of Pittsburgh. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve an agreement between the University of Pittsburgh and its Child Welfare Education for Leadership Program and the Department of Human Services Office of Youth and Family Services for Student Arrows. Adopted regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, once again, here's Director.
Thank you.
Hi. This will allow our employee, Elizabeth Maros, to earn her master's degree while continuing to work at the agency.
Great. Any questions? Okay. Good luck to her.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0233.
Approving the Office of Youth and Family Services Addendum. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County has hereby approved the Office of Youth and Family Services contract addendums with the Outreach Center for Community Resources for the fiscal year 25 through 26. Adopted regularly. The Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Once again, Mr. Chairman, here is Director Brown.
This contract addendum will add family finding service to our contract at no additional cost to the county. It is a requirement from our most recent licensing plan. Starting on October 1st, 2025 and ending on June 30th, 2026, the monthly flat fee will increase from $54,499.72 to $58,113.69. And the monthly reimbursable fee will decrease from $205,915 to $161,647. This addendum replaces the previous contract for outreach supervised visitation, and the total contracted do not exceed amount remains the same at $859,311.59.
Thank you. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you very much. Resolution 25-0234.
Entering into an grant agreement for the Area Agency on Aging. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into a grant agreement for the older adult services between the Pennsylvania Department of Aging and the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging for the state fiscal year 25 through 26. Adopted a regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here is the Director of the Area Agency on Aging, Ms. Sarah McDowell.
Good morning.
Good morning. This older adult services grant agreement for the state fiscal year of 2025 through 2026 is between the Pennsylvania Department of Aging and the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging. Under this grant agreement, the State Department of Aging awards program funding in the amount of $3,671,853 to the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging.
Okay, very good. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you. Resolution 25-0235.
It's a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania, approving the financing by the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Lackawanna on certain projects for the benefit of the Diocese of Scranton's Catholic School System Incorporated, Pennsylvania not-for-profit corporation serving the public. Whereas the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Lackawanna is a public body, corporate, and politic organized and existing under the Urban Redevelopment Law, and whereas the Diocese of Scranton Catholic School System Incorporated, a Pennsylvania non-for-profit corporation has requested the assistance of the authority in connection with the project consisting of, among other things, financing, the design, construction, renovation, expansion, equipping, and furnishing of improvements and additions to the existing facilities of the borrower, and financing contingencies and paying all or portion of the cost and expenses at the issuance of the notes. Whereas, in order to finance the project, the borrower has requested the authority to issue one or more series of tax-exempt revenue notes in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $8,250,000, a portion of which shall be spent on cost of the project within the county of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County as follows. In connection with the financing of the project by the authority, the board hereby declares it to be desirable for the health, safety, and welfare of the people of the county in the area served by the borrower to have the project provided by and financed through the authority within the county. The board intends that this resolution shall constitute the approval by a government unit required under Section 147F of the Code, and the approvals granted hereby do not and shall not in any way pledge or obligate the credit or taxing power of the county, nor shall the county be liable for any payment of the principal or interest on any obligations issued by the authority, including but not limited to the notes. Resolved and adopted on this first day of October 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that is Attorney Brian Kozlansky.
Good morning. This is the same resolution that we did on September 3rd.
I'm aware.
Same reading of that as well. What happened after that meeting is the borrower decided that they needed to move up their project at Holy Cross High School in Dunmore. So we had to have a new public hearing and a new approval. Once again, this is just a tax code requirement, no obligation on the county, but that was the need to come back. They wanted to bump up that project and get that going sooner than they thought.
Okay. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Resolution 25-0241.
So entering into an agreement with Edge Insights. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into an agreement with Edge Insights Expense Reduction Strategies for waste cost management. It's a one-year agreement to commence November 1st, 2025. Adopted at regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that is our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. David Bolzoni.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Edge Insights provides analytics and cost evaluation services for the county's refuse contracts. The initial contract with Edge was approved in 2019 for 4 years. The contract allows for continuous 30-day extensions. Compensation from the first contract or the current contract is based on a percentage of savings that's derived by the firm in negotiating contracts on behalf of the county. The savings provision was effective for a 48-month period, and it expires in October of 2025. This formal renewal of the contract would be fee-based, not savings-based. The annual cost of the 12-month contract is $5,400. The contract allows for 30-day extensions. Based on past performance and the bid requirement they're going to have for waste services in 2026, I think it would be advantageous at this time to retain the firm.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Bolzoni? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0242.
It's approving a contract extension. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve a one-year contract extension with Waste Management, 13 Peggy Parkway, Dunmore, as attached here to, adopted at regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, once again, here is CFO Bolzoni.
Commissioners, this legislation seeks approval for a one-year extension of the waste management contract. The company provides waste hauling services to all Lackawanna County facilities, excluding the government center. The proposed cost is $118,761.48, which is an increase of $609 from the current contract. The current contract was approved by the Board of Commissioners in 2019. It's a 3-year contract with an option which allows for 3 annual extensions. The county is in the 2nd year of the extension period. The service would require bidding next year. Based on what I consider favorable pricing for the next extension period, I would recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bolzoni? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution 25-0237.
This is authorizing the submission of an application to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. Whereas it is necessary and in the public interest that the County of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania receive funds from the Commonwealth through the Department of Community and Economic Development in accordance with the Community Development Block Grant Program, and whereas the County of Lackawanna has the legal authority and responsibility under Act 179 to apply for Community Development Block Grant funds. And whereas the County of Lackawanna has undertaken considerable citizen participation process, including written invitations to municipalities, informational meetings, hearings, and legal notices, all of which culminated in the prioritization of projects and development of the Community Development Plan. And whereas the County of Lackawanna are familiar with the requirements of the program as provided for in the Housing and Community Development Act and the Community Development Block Grant Regulations, and the County of Lackawanna wishes to apply for said funds. Now therefore be it resolved by the County of Lackawanna that the Community Development Manager is authorized to have prepared the necessary forms and documents to submit applications to the Department of Community and Economic Development for the Community Development Block Grant funds for the purposes as foresaid. And if the CDBG funds are determined by the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development to be expendable and ineligible program costs do not meet the national objective, the County of Lackawanna agrees to repay the proportion deemed ineligible from non-federal sources. Be it further resolved that the Community Development Plan was developed in coordination with low and moderate individuals, interested organizations, nonprofits, and other interested parties through the citizen participation process, and municipal information gathering is hereby adopted, and the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna is empowered to place their signature on behalf of the governing body on all necessary applications, forms, and affix thereto the official seal of the County of Lackawanna. Adopted at a regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners in Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that and answer any questions is the Economic Development Director, Ms. Kristen Magnata.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
This legislation authorizes Lackawanna County to submit a CDBG application to DCED for our fiscal year 2025 funding. This resolution is required as part of the application, and the application is due in the month of October.
Very good. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All those in, or I'm sorry, the resolution is passed. Thank you. Resolution 25-0238.
This is designating a fair housing officer, whereas in accordance with Community Development Block Grant Program regulations, the County of Lackawanna passed a fair housing resolution on April 22nd, 1986, as amended on April 11th, 1989, and readopted on November 15th, 2017, to provide notice to the public, real estate owners, developers, and builders of their rights and responsibilities under the federal fair housing law. The Pennsylvania Human Relations Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1968 as amended, and local laws and ordinances, and Lackawanna County shall assist all persons who feel they have been discriminated against because of their race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, handicap, disability, or familiarity status to seek equity under the federal and state laws by filing a complaint with the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission and the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County hereby designate the Community Development Manager of Lackawanna County Department of Economic Development as the Fair Housing Officer of Lackawanna County. Adopted at a regular meeting. The Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, here to speak upon that once again is Director Magnata.
Thank you. This legislation reaffirms county fair housing policy and designates the community development manager as fair housing officer. As was stated, this legislation protects residents against housing discrimination, ensures public awareness of rights and responsibilities, safeguards civil rights, ensures HUD compliance, and maintains our federal funding eligibility by complying with the HUD requirements. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution 25-0239.
This is designating a Section 3 compliance officer. Whereas the United States Congress passed Section 3 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968 as amended to further the goal of ensuring that federal funds benefit the residents of projects funded wholly or in part by federal programs receiving funds from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. And whereas Part 135 of Section 3 is to establish the standards and procedures to be followed to ensure that the objectives or Section 3 are met. And whereas in accordance with Section 3 of the HUD Act of 1968, as amended, it is the policy of the County of Lackawanna to promote the opportunity for full participation by low and very low income persons and to business concerns which provide economic opportunities to low and very low income persons in its Community Development Block Grant Program, Home Program, and Emergency Shelter Grant Program. Now therefore be it resolved that the County of Lackawanna hereby authorizes the readoption and implementation of this Section 3 plan to ensure compliance with federal and state law. And be it further resolved that the Labor Compliance Officer of the Department of Economic Development is hereby designated as a Section 3 Compliance Officer for Lackawanna County, responsible for implementing and monitoring the county's Section 3 program in accordance with HUD regulations. Adopted regularly in the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman, once again, here's Director Magnotta.
This legislation designates the Labor Compliance Officer as Section 3 Compliance Officer and establishes oversight of Section 3, the Section 3 program. What Section 3 is, it ensures job and contracting opportunities are given to Section 3 residents and businesses and maintains registry of Section 3 concerns. It creates, Section 3 creates opportunities for low and very low income persons, ensures county compliance with HUD regulations, therefore maintains our funding eligibility with HUD.
Very good. Any questions for Director Magnotta? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved.
Thank you.
Resolution 25-0240.
This is the appointment of the Workforce Development Board. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby reappoint the following individual to the Workforce Development Board with a term to commence October 1st, 2025, and continue through September 30th, 2028. Carla Carlucci is the Director of the Community Technology Center of Lackawanna County, sitting as representative of the local education agency with experience in addressing the employment, education, and training needs of eligible youth. Adopted regularly in the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County held on October 1st, 2025. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second, on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Thank you. Now is the opportunity for the public to address the board.
Hi, Michelle Tierney, Glenburn Township. My first comment is with the 4-H with Kristen. Mental health is an incredible crisis. Is your forum that you're having advertised in all the school districts? Because I think families all across could only learn from any education they can to help in the kinship and helping support children. So is it advertised in all the school districts? I'll make sure it is. Okay, thank you, thank you. My next thing is I just want to comment on the commissioner's perseverance in getting a special election for this seat that is vacant. It has been 7 months since we, the people, have asked to have a fair opportunity to vote in the person to sit next to both of you. I want to commend you for your perseverance in sticking the course and having faith in our judicial system to continue to understand that we, the people, select who we want to serve us. My next thing is the reassessment. Is there a final date that the reassessed values of homes need to be sent in?
November 5th, it needs to be certified by November 15th.
November 15th. During your speech after we're done talking, I'd like for you both to discuss where the findings are now and if there are issues with that, and if there is any reason that you believe that there should be a hold off or a stall, and understand what the consequences are that. I learned that you were on a talk radio station trying to educate the community on the process and where we stand now. Unfortunately, I wasn't in town to hear it. I appreciate you doing that. The more knowledge we all have in understanding this process, I think for it to have in completion, it is important that the person sitting in that seat, that's elected in that seat, understands that this is a process that you have put in place, that we have voted for in place, and should be completed. So I would like you both to speak on where we stand with this to date, and if there's any need to stall this, and what that stall would mean. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board?
Bob Wallace, Scranton, and you can start calling down, Mr. Gaughan. The hospitals, I believe, should become employee-owned here in the city of Scranton. You're looking for somebody to buy us. You have all the connections with your state senators, congressmen, all state representatives. They have deep pockets. Let them fund the hospitals to make them employee-owned. We don't need somebody coming in here to tell us how to do it when we already have the talent here to do it. They'll be dedicated, and doctors and nurses could work from one hospital to the other, whether it's Geisinger or Lehigh Valley. But to sit here and keep saying we need a buyer with Bridget and all them and Flynn, we don't need a buyer. We have everything we need right here now. Let them fund the hospitals to be employee-owned. They'll pay taxes to the city, and it's a hell of a benefit that we have. We don't need another dictator in the community. If anybody paid attention, I brought up about PTSD clinics. They've been ignored. If you just take a look at the shootings in the last couple weeks, 2 former Marines, 1 shot in the head, the other with issues. Remember, when you're in the service, whether it was in the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, you're trained to be a killer of the enemy. And people seem to forget that. Our people, PTSD affects everyone. Anyone in this room, including yourself, could be infected with PTSD from something that went on in a tragedy or whatever. And I'm offering to use the church that I have here in Scranton as a PTSD clinic. I just want to see somebody worry about the individuals that need the treatment, and we don't have one here. I have a clinical psychologist that I've had here at Gino Murley. We had him at the VA. They're just ignorant on what they need to do to treat people because it's dollars and cents. The tax assessments here are a total joke. Young lady just spoke about them. They're absolutely ridiculous. Tyler has been sued in many counties already for their ignorance. I have a lawsuit to reverse the 33% tax and the assessment. That's all a joke here. It's against the people. Like I said, Tyler has been sued. People could contact me at 570-346-7659 to join our class action suit to reverse what you and everybody else has done here to take away from the people in this community with a fantasy of a tax assessment. I was here a couple of weeks ago when an individual kept claiming that he wants to see the queers get protection from the county. They killed Charlie Kirk. Let them understand what's going on in this country. We're the ones, and our government officials need the protection from the president on down. Last, I brought up about McGloin's name here, and yet it's still on the commissioner thing here. I'd like to see it removed. If we take a look at what's going on in our community, business-wise or otherwise, they want to start building all these electronic centers through the area. They're going to allow A1 to take over the brain power of the people of this community. And it's a fallacy. We don't need it. I think we all have a brain and we could use it. We've been using it for centuries. And to sit back here and see what's going on in this county, including between you and Commissioner Chermak, I think is an insult to the people here to allow it to get to that point. We need another commissioner here. And last, I'd like to know how much money the county paid on your behalf, whether it's for your representation or not, to that law firm. So we get to the bottom of what you're trying to do to take it from the taxpayers of this community. We have a right to stand up for what's being spent. If you want to spend your money, spend it on your own. The last lawsuits being filed when you had the sheriff remove me, destroyed the whole back corner of my shoulder blade area. And Mr. Gaughan, I'll see you in court.
That's great. Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board?
Joan Hodawanit, Scranton. When will the draft budget be released to the public? October 15th?
October 15th, correct.
Okay. Is your commissioners meeting here or elsewhere on that date?
It is here.
Okay, thank you. I want to confirm something I've been told. When will the new commissioner be sworn in?
Don?
There's no date exactly. It's upon certification of the election, so it depends on how long it takes the election.
So it can be this year, can be before January.
It'll be in November.
Okay.
It'll be some point in November, but it depends on how long it takes for the certification, because this year it's a municipal election, so there's a lot of write-ins that are going to have to be canvassed as part of that, because a lot of these township controllers and that nobody files, so you have to.
Okay. Well, I have been told it would be January, and that raised some concerns about not being available for voting on the reassessment or the budget, so that puts that to rest. But I understand if the budget's not passed, what would happen in that scenario. But what I want to know is if the commissioners do not vote to certify reassessment, what happens?
So we don't actually vote to certify reassessment. It's not a vote by the commissioners. The assessment office has to certify them. Correct, Don?
Correct. Under the Assessment Act, the assessment office has to certify the numbers by November 15th. So.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about the reassessment not being certified, just that they make the deadline on November 15th, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And PFM will do a presentation Monday morning on finances again?
October 6th, yes.
Here at 9:15?
No, it's at 12 o'clock, I believe.
Board of Elections is at 9:15 on Monday.
Oh, Board of Elections.
Noon. It's noon on October 6th will be the PFM
And where will it be? Here?
Here, yes.
Okay, so noon and the Board of Elections at 9:15. Is the Board of Elections simply confirming the slate?
No, the slate's already been confirmed. The Board of Elections is to authorize out-of-district workers, and they have to move one polling place.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see, and only one other thing, and this is minor, but when you introduced the young lady who led the Pledge of Allegiance, It's no longer the Department of Defense. It is now the War Department. So,
Duly
I
noted.
don't know who we're fighting, but it's the War Department.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board? Okay, Commissioners, other business? Commissioner Chermak?
Well, thank you. Thank you for all for coming today. You know, the reassessment it's a huge issue, certainly is with me. And nothing would make me happier is to have a perfect reassessment and be done and everybody be happy. But we're not there. First of all, the reassessment has to be revenue neutral. So what's that? The county cannot use reassessment to increase taxes immediately. That means they can we can raise taxes, going down the road, but for the reassessment year, we can't. Total amount collected from property taxes after reassessment must equal the amount collected in the previous year. So this means that what will happen is, once they do the reassessment, once they come up with all the values, and which obviously they're going to be much higher than what they were, then the millage rates will have to be drastically reduced so that we get to the same number. So that takes care of that part of revenue neutral. I've talked about extending it for the process for a year, and there's reasons because I feel that this process is being rushed at the finish line here. There's a tremendous amount of values that are incorrect. There's a tremendous amount that have been corrected, and we're talking some of our board people that are doing the hearings. They're looking at almost 90% of some of them that were 90% of them that were incorrect. So that shows me that there's a problem. There's a problem because it's not just 90% of the ones that they appealed. It's a good chance it's going to be a big percentage of all the reassessments. So we need to really look at making these corrections. We talked about lawsuits and different things that's going on, or that could happen if we fail to do this. Well, my solicitor can speak on parts of the reassessment law if I need him to. But the first problem initially is how we were notified in Lackawanna County. We were notified improperly. It didn't follow the statute. There was a very simple solution or sample from Schuylkill County. And Schuylkill County, when they notified, because they're in the same position we are, about the same place, when they sent out the notification, by statute, you were supposed to be notified of your current assessed value and your new assessment, what it's going to be. They also added in here an estimation of what your taxes are going to be, which to me would have been hugely such a benefit for the residents here, because any confusion, if your values were going to drop or stay the same, would have been solved right there on a simple letter that went out in the mail. But the problem is that folks in Lackawanna County were improperly notified. That could trigger a lawsuit because technically we didn't follow the statute. That's an issue to me. That's my opinion. What I've stated before, what I'd like to do is send out a corrected notification with your old assessment, your new assessment, and an estimated tax, what your taxes are going to be. I think that would be a huge benefit to everyone to see where they are. That would, again, settle any disputes that may or may not happen. After they provide those completed notices, I would like to allow people, another 3 months to get their appeals. If somebody feels they need an appeal, let's give them an opportunity. At least the ones that know their taxes are going to go up or think that their values are incorrect and they're looking at their new assessments, they'll have a better understanding. It's going to allow for a more accurate final value, and it's certainly going to allow for a more accurate millage rate moving up to the next year. It's going to benefit from clogging the courts with lawsuits and appeals for their properties. Another thing that I've voiced concerns, and one of them I know that we're going to do, which is it's a great thing, is, you know, I was concerned about safeguards. And one of the things that we're putting in place is a payment plan, which is nice. I think it's going to be quarterly. You'll be able to make your payments quarterly. Now, it will be you won't get the discount, but at least you'll be able to make quarterly payments. Other counties that have different safeguards, Philadelphia and Allegheny County there's property tax freeze for low-income seniors and fixed-income residents. A tax freeze prevents property bills from increasing, even if assessment rates rise, locking in their current amount. And like I said, Philadelphia and Allegheny County do that. There's other things that other counties do. Expanded property tax and rent relief programs, tax deferral programs for vulnerable homeowners. So there's things in here that other counties do. It would be a benefit to have them in place to protect our residents here. If there was an issue where they can't afford it, there's something in place. And again, I want to also just remind people of different things that are available. The Clean and Green program. Go on our website and look at it. It's for 10 acres or more. You can get breaks on your property taxes. It explains the whole process. Homestead exclusion, that's another program that's available. It's on our website. Veterans, there's programs for veterans, and especially 100% disabled veterans, and it's during wars where they have to be. So World War II from December 7th, 1941 to December 31st, 1946, Korean, Vietnam, and the Persian Gulf. So there's different dates. And if you're 100% disabled, you don't pay property taxes. So there are programs there. So again, nothing would make me happier to see a perfect reassessment, which I know is impossible, but I would like to strive for a more accurate reassessment with values, and I'd like to see it postponed a little bit. I want to have it. I want to do this, make sure that we get this reassessment done. I know it has to be done. I'm not looking to stop it. I'm looking to make accurate corrections, and I'm just speaking on behalf of residents in this county. I try to support every single one of them. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm certainly entitled to mine. I sit in this seat, and I vow to do, and I take an oath to do what I can and do the best I can for this county. That's what I have to say today.
Okay, thank you. Just to answer your question on the reassessment. So, and I think I covered this at the last commissioners meeting, but just let me reiterate it. In my opinion, first of all, we can't delay it. The values are going to be certified by November 15th, and they're going to be certified by Pat Tobin in the assessment office. So that's number one. So there's actually no mechanism at this point to delay it or to stop it, in my opinion. Extending it, delaying it, it's not realistic. It's not based in fact, and it would be completely irresponsible, in my opinion. Commissioner Chermak mentioned Schuylkill County and people getting an estimate of their tax bill. And we've been down this road before, and we asked this question. And a lot of people asked the question, well, why didn't I get something in the mail that told me what my estimated tax is going to be next year? There's a reason that you didn't get that, and let me explain why. This comes from an article that was in WVIA back in May of this year. And they interviewed the gentleman who was responsible for reassessment in Schuylkill County. And he said, and I quote, "I've been doing this for 40 years, and I've been doing tax impact estimates on all my reassessments for decades, but it's a little risky because it's an estimate. This is why the law doesn't require tax impact estimates and why many counties don't choose to do it." Furthermore, to that point, one of the other experts in reassessment, Mary Nolde, who's quoted in this article, states, and I quote, "I never recommend doing an estimate of what your taxes are going to be when the base year exceeds 30 years and/or the county anticipates a large increase in C&G properties. Lackawanna County checks off both of those boxes. So in other words, we haven't done a reassessment since 1968. You're really in dangerous territory, and they do not, so the professionals that do this told us, don't send out a tax impact statement. Don't send out an estimate. That will be a big mistake because you haven't done it since 1968. I would respectfully also respond to the idea that 90%, as Commissioner Chermak stated today and at the last meeting, 90% of the figures is not accurate. I asked Pat Tobin, Pat Tobin, who is the Director of Assessment, where that figure is coming from. He said that that is inaccurate. And even if it was accurate, that's 90% of 4,500 appeals out of 100 and some thousand properties. And the bottom line here, and again, I don't want to dwell on it because I think we went around the horn on this at the last meeting. The idea that this is being rushed and that everything's wrong and that it's all happening at the last minute, this has been going on since 2022. There was, I think, 16 public hearings. There's been an enormous effort to inform the public over the last couple of years. So this, is, in my opinion, is not being rushed. We're just at the end of the process. And again, as I said at the last meeting, look, this hasn't been done since 1968. People in general, no matter what it is, reassessment, no matter what the topic is, are generally weary of change, including myself. So when you go through a process like this, there's going to naturally be people who say, whoa, wait a minute, pump the brakes. The bottom line is we can't pump the brakes. There's a court order that says this must be done by January 1, 2026. A court order. Am I correct in that, Don? So we can't stop it. We can't delay it. And even if we could, that is not going to solve anything. In fact, I asked Pat Tobin, the Director of Assessments, in an email just to play devil's advocate, what would happen if we could delay it and if we could stop it? Number one, he states, and I quote, the courts could reopen the case against us by the taxpayers that created this issue in the first place. So if you remember a couple years ago, a group of taxpayers sued Lackawanna County and said, we are unfairly being taxed. There are a lot of people in the county who are not paying their fair share. We're paying way more than our fair share. Okay, so they sued the county. The county, under the last administration, said, we're going to lose this case. There's case law on this from across Pennsylvania. The court's going to force us to do a reassessment. So instead of waiting for them to do that, let's just do it because we're going to have to do it. So they did it. So that's number one. Number two, Pat Tobin, been doing this the last couple years, the Director of Assessments in Lackawanna County. A 6-month delay, and I quote, would cause chaos, and that I am not even sure we could start on July 1st, effectively implementing the reassessment numbers for the fiscal school year, as any delay, I believe, would have to be a full year delay. So again, the idea that we can delay this for 6 months, he blows that argument out of the water. Number two, we would also, and I quote from Pat Tobin, we will be starting 2027 with numbers effectively 2+ years old, not allowing this office to function with the CLR of 1 for the first time in county history. So if you delay it, you're not just delaying it for 6 months, you're delaying it for a year, because then you can't implement it until 2027. Then you're getting further away from accurate market valuations, okay, which leads to Pat Tobin's third point. Additionally, every year we roll over to the next taxing year in early to mid-January. If the reassessment isn't implemented, we won't have anything to roll over to, as 2026 is already populated with the new information. If that were to happen, our only real option would be to hire Tyler Technologies again, more money, to push all of the 2025 information into 2026. By that time, their contract would have expired, so, and I quote Pat Tobin, more money down the drain. So again, I understand the hesitation. I understand that people are concerned, but I'm just giving you the facts. These are the facts. It has to be done. There's no way to stop it. We're at the 1 yard line here, about to go into the end zone, and stopping it at this point, delaying it, wouldn't make any sense, and we actually cannot do it. So I just want to make sure people understand that. And again, as I said at the last commissioners meeting, I have people stopping me all the time saying, is there any way we can stop this? Commissioner Chermak said we can delay it. And that's the most frustrating part of this, is that we all know that we can't do it, so why are we even talking about doing it? It's not gonna happen. And so I just don't want people out there to think that that's a feasible option. If it was, we would consider it. It is not. So therefore, we cannot do it, and that is the truth. Okay, moving on from reassessment. As Joan Hodawanitz had asked, the public presentation by PFM, the financial experts that we hired last year, will be held Monday, October 6th at 12 noon in the Commissioner's Boardroom here at the 5th floor of the Government Center. We have good news on the audit update. So in the previous few years, the audit was late, and when I say late, it wasn't completed until the next year. Our folks in Revenue and Finance have done a really, really good job, and I'd like to thank them, specifically Dave Bolzoni and Bob Dean. The audit prep work is complete, and they're going to begin the preliminary work in the first week of October. The target date for completion of both the audit and single audit remains the end of the year. Now, that's not ideal. We'd like to have that moved up to when it's supposed to be, but we are in a much better position than we were last year. So things are moving, and I'm hopeful that next year and the year after that, we'll be able to get it done on time. Just wanted to mention that the Fringe Festival will be held from September 25th to October 5th. One of the great events that we have here in Scranton and in Lackawanna County. If you want any more information on that, you can go to scrantonfringe.org. The Taylor Police Department National Night Out will be held this Saturday, October 4th at the Taylor Community Center, 700 South Main Avenue, from 4 to 6 p.m. And the last thing I just want to touch on really quick, we talked about in the last few weeks the fact that we do not have a state budget. And I was down in Berks County yesterday talking about a few different issues. Every commissioner that I talked to across the state of Pennsylvania, we are all holding our breath waiting for a state budget. The federal government shut down as of, I think, 12 p.m. last night. So that adds to this crisis. The federal government shutdown, it's not just a crisis in Washington, it is a threat that we are going to feel here in Lackawanna County. Many of the programs that our residents rely on, like nutrition assistance, housing support, workforce training, public health funding, those are sustained by federal dollars. So a prolonged shutdown could delay reimbursements, freeze grants, place a new strain on our county budget at a time when every dollar counts. Most of our county budget is funded through the state government, but we do have a lot of programs and grants that are funded by the federal government. Equally concerning to me, and it should be concerning to all of you, are reports from this morning that the president may move forward with mass firings of federal employees. That would not only devastate working families in our community who serve the public every day, but it's also going to weaken the delivery of crucial, critical services that we depend on, from veterans benefits to public safety coordination and infrastructure support. When you hear the word federal bureaucracy, there's always a negative connotation to it. I used to teach American government. We spent almost a whole month on the federal bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is really, really important. And if there's going to be a mass firings, you may not feel it right away, but you eventually will feel it. And our most vulnerable residents in Lackawanna County will almost definitely feel it. So I just want to make sure that I mention that, because in times like this, our duty at the county level is to prepare for the worst, protect essential services, and stand up for the hardworking people who actually make government function. So I'm urging Congress and the Trump administration to end the shutdown as quickly as possible and focus on stability and not chaos. So we're going to continue not only with the federal shutdown, but with the state budget crisis, monitor all potential impacts, and do everything possible to shield our residents from the natural fallout that will occur. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.